Oh, later on, when, are you recording now? You good? Okay, so later on you'll get the tech on that stuff.
But, one night Pat and I were sitting out in front of the house, and it was night, and we decided to take a motorcycle ride. Her sister lived about 20-25 miles from us, and we were gonna ride up and visit her. Well, I had the 350 Honda. The only other bike we had that I thought would make the trip was Moose's Black Shadow race bike.
No, it was the, oh, you're talking about riding small bikes.
I was riding my Honda.
Yeah, okay,
The
yeah.
only other bike we had that
Was
was
the
running
Black Widow.
was the Black Widow.
Right.
So Pat climbs on the black, no lights, no
No.
reflectors. She climbs on the Black Widow, we cranked that sucker up, and we rode the back roads and the highway with the Honda riding on the outside, the mini bike riding on the inside, all the way to the back roads until we got to the highway, then we rode down the highway with the semis passing us and all this other shit, all the way to June and Junior's house.
I remember when you came back. I don't remember when you left, but I remember when you guys came back. Oh boy. Can you imagine doing that today? A virtual mini bike? Taking out, oh my gosh.
Well, the first day we moved into that house there out on the highway, I put you guys on the mini bikes, and that garage we had 2 ends opened up,
Yeah, yeah.
and we didn't have enough mini bikes, so I put Punchy on the 350.
You put Punchy on, also, it was at our house at the time, that little 100cc crazy looking little Yamaha thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing she rode into the, yeah, and she sounded like a bee. We were sitting there watching her, and she was on this side of the garage with the house, and then there's a garage and some doors that went in this way and out the back. And there was a stack of wood. And Punchy gets on this little, and she was learning the clutch. She was fast learning. She gets on this cool ass little bike of my uncle's, little 100cc Yamaha thing. And she drops the clutch and gets going, and her little feet go flying back like this. And we're sitting like this looking at the garage. She goes in that side, and we hear it like a bee in a jar. And echoing. And then we see her fly out the other side. But there's no steps.
The lip was about as high as that bed.
Yeah, she went whew, off of that. And she with her feet out. And she kept on and going. And
Pat came out, she was so pissed at me. That's when she was sure I was trying to kill the kids.
yeah. Well, you put Dawn on her brand new bike, her Sprint. It was new at the time. It was a little 3.5 horse, really cool little bike. Puts Dawn on her Sprint and explains how to twist the throttle, it'll go, this is a brake, and that's it. And the first 2 minutes of her motorcycling career were spent turning the throttle with her little helmet self on and her little body, skinny self on this bike. And she went, instead of going down the driveway and turning and doing anything, she went up our wood pile. Up against the house, we had a stack of wood that we put the wood in the fireplace in the house. She went up it. And she got to the top, and it just kind of all the way off, and off she fell. That was kind of Dad's mode. He figured you'd figure things out along the way as you went. So one day, Eric is out on his beginning of Eric's career was really cool too. Eric had a go-kart, a little 2.5 horse go-kart. It was pretty cool, you know, because he was 2.5. He was really young. But anyway, he gets going. He gets it all explained to him. Out you go. He goes out onto the road, and he hasn't quite got the wherewithal to turn the wheel and actually steer and get places. And then tires didn't have enough pressure or something, you know. Anyway, it gets locked to the left, and he's screaming. and he's going like this, and he's straightening out his little legs. And Dad had pedals welded up halfway up the rods so he could reach them. And so he's got his butt up against his seat, and he's let go of the wheel, and it's locked to the left, and he's pushing on the gas as hard as he can, going, ah, ah, yelling, ah, and he's doing donuts. He's just doing donuts locked to the left. And Dad's like over there looking like a kid about to be doing jump rope. And Dad's like, he's timing it. He's going to jump in there and save Eric's ass. And the engine comes by, and Dad reaches over on the way by, and he reaches over and he grabs the wire to the spark plug and pulls it off. It goes, blah, 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 and stops. And Eric's still in there, breathing. He doesn't know how to deal with that. So the solution was just as funny. Dad gets a piece of rope. About this long and ties a cinder block to this rope. A full cinder block for like building a house. And he ties it to the back of this go-kart. So everywhere it goes, there's a cinder block out behind him, tossing and tumbling and scraping the road. He's just riding.
But it kept him slowed down.
It kept him slowed down, and he never got the concept of brakes, because he's 2.5 years old. He never got the concept of brakes, so he wouldn't touch the brake. He'd do the gas. So this thing had to stop automatically, and that's what the cinder block did. It's hilarious. And one day, his go-kart's parked there, and he loved his go-kart. That was his thing, right? So he comes out, and he's barefoot little fart in his little jeans, and he comes out, and he's got his little drink or something like that. And we're working on the driveway, and his go-kart's sitting there. And it's real sunny, hot out, and this go-kart is really nice, black, sleek little machine. And we're working on, all of a sudden we hear this blood-curdling screaming, ah! He's just, and we look over, and there's Eric standing on his go-kart, absolutely screaming, and he's not moving. And we're like, what the hell's with him? My dad goes over and picks him up. He's going, ah! Dad picks him up and he goes, ah! And silence. He's fine. He burned his little feet on the go-kart. It was like turning a switch, though. He's like, ah! And he was fine. Put him down, off he went. And he had a little mini cycle when he was even younger than that. I think he started off with, it was a little Indian mini.
The one that clowns ride around on in the circus.
And monkeys and stuff. And didn't run really all that well. And so you had to have some skill. And when you're that age, skill's not, so it wouldn't run very well. So it kind of sucked. So Eric had a solution. He'd get his little helmet on, he'd get his little boots on, he's ready to ride, and he would push that mini bike
All around.
all over the place. He was the dude. I think he had like a little build going, and he would push it everywhere, and he'd make noise. He put his little lips.
Then he learned how that it would go by itself with the engine running. And from then on, we had no babysitting problems with Eric.
Yeah.
'Cause I had bought 5 city lots. So we had a big yard. And Eric, from pushing his little bike around, had cut a trail around the yard. When he got it to running, he'd go, and you knew where Eric was. You could hear him from the kitchen, you could hear him from the living room, as long as we heard the
He would just come in and he would just point. He wouldn't say stuff. He wouldn't talk. But you go out there on the yard, and he'd be in his little helmet, and he'd just go like this. He needed gas. You take it, fill it, put the gas can down, start it for him. No thank you, no nothing. Off he went. Yeah. He got pretty good at riding. He got real good at working on stuff. It's fun. fun to watch his little career develop.
We were getting set up for a big race, state race.
Had 7 bikes, yeah.
I had the bikes all out in the driveway and had tuned each one of them right down to where it should be on the carburetors. Came out the next morning, here's Eric in the middle of all those bikes. We're ready to go to the races. Here's Eric in the middle of all those bikes. He has a screwdriver and he's retuning those carburetors.
He's helping Dad. None of them would run. But he didn't get in trouble for it. It's just like he wanted to help. He was doing his thing. It was explained to him. Let's see. Ericisms. Eric had, there are stories with, but I can tell, just little moments. The whole Cates family experience as far as riding motorcycles and doing stuff together, it's all in these little snapshot moments that get stuck in your head. And I got favorites. I've got things that pop into my head when I think. And I think about Dad riding in front of me, and we're going through the Paso Robles countryside. It's absolutely the best riding on the planet. People ship their bikes from Italy to come to this area to ride around here. And anyway, we're rolling down the road, and I see this on one. We go this way, and there's this big giant eagle-looking thing, hawk-looking, badass bird of prey sitting, and he does his wings, and he's sitting on this rock, right? So we go this way, and we spend a little time, right? Big trees. On the way back, I think it was the same dude, the same bird, but it was perched in a tree. And I'm riding behind. Dad would wear
Trees come over like that.
big trees would come over with the big limbs, and this dude was sitting on it. Now this ain't a buzzard. He's got a certain way of standing. He looks bad to the bone. And I'm behind Dad a couple 100 meters, and I'm catching up. And Dad goes under this tree, and this bird is up there. And as Dad's coming, this bird's got his head off the side like this. As Dad's coming, the bird turns his head straight, and I'm looking. And as Dad's coming, this bird goes, like leans forward, starts to fall out this limb, and puts his wings out. Whoop, and comes out, and Dad's riding, and the bird comes down over Dad's head with his big ass claws. And Dad's like got the thing, and he goes, tries to grab Dad's bandana, and then banks off and just flies off. And he's really big. He's like way wider than Dad and his bike. His wingspan was way past Dad when he opened up. It was just super fabulous to see. Really cool.
We got about 5-6 miles down the road, and off in the pasture, here's this trough, water trough, and that big gold eagle sitting on the edge of it, watching us go by.
Then another confrontation, Eric and Dad and myself are rolling down the road, and it's just a little snippet moment, but it was pretty cool because I like the courage of creatures. And we come rolling up, and there's a big old brown spider. Now there's black tarantulas in the area, and then there's the brown tarantulas. Now the black tarantulas are big lumbering guys, and they're cool. If you have the guts, you can sit them on their hand. They won't even do anything. They're real docile. The brown ones, though, they're kind of aggressive, and you know, people will tell you they can kind of jump a ways. We come rolling up on the motorcycles.
This was during the migration.
Yeah, they crawl across.
There's thousands of them.
Huh. Yeah, and
They
this
come in a big cloud, walking across the streets and stuff.
yeah, and this dude here, he's really big. He's a really exceptionally large brown spider. And we roll up, and we stop because he's on the road. We don't want to disturb him or bug him. So we got the motorcycles running, and he stops like this. And he's big and hairy. And instead of being all afraid and stuff, he's like off this crawling across the road. He turns toward us and puts up his feet and goes like this. He's ready. He's like, "Bring it on, motherfucker!" You know, like you could tell he was like, "I will kill your ass." You know, like he's not afraid. So we hit our kill switch and turn the keys off. Once it gets quiet, he's like,
yeah,
goes like this. He's like, but he's ready. And then off he goes walking. Like, yeah, okay, you got by this time, kind of thing. And then on that same road, on another ride, I think, was it Steve was with the four of it? Was the four of us? Steve was there.
I'm sorry, I just lost your dog out in the